Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to the therapy hour. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being here on a glorious, glorious Saturday afternoon. Thank you. Hello, how are you? How are you all doing? For today's therapy hour, hello, welcome. Thank you all for joining me. For today's therapy hour, I want us to be able to explore such an important topic, an important exploration, especially in the mental health field. It is one that I think resonates with a lot of people. I think if we look at it, a lot of us are directly or indirectly have been affected by people that may suffer from this. So for today's therapy hour, we're going to be talking about depression. I'm going to give it a little bit of a time for people to join in. So whilst that is going on, hello everyone. Hello Stella. Hello Andrea. Hello Joy. Hello Kems. Hello Alwyn. I'm just going to pin today's topic. So you're going to be seeing me go like this now. So bear with me a second as I pin. For those that have just joined me, this used to be a big issue. Because for a long time, I didn't know how to pin on the messages. Well, I found out in the end, right? So I'm doing it right now. I'm showing off right now because now I know how to do it. Let's go for it. Depression. There we go. Post. All right. There we go. Pin comment. Look at that. Perfect. All done. So how are you all doing today? It's beautiful wherever you are in the world. It's beautiful over here in England. It's sunny, as you can see. Maybe you can see the sun is shining on me right now. Where are most of you from? I'll be interested to see some of us that may be joining locally, as in England. Some of us may be joining elsewhere from a different country. So if you want to drop down for me where you guys are connecting from today. I'll be able to just say a little wave. Hi everyone, hi for joining. So where are you guys from? Where are you guys based right now? Where are you watching this from? I know a few faces, I know where you guys are from. Germany. Guten Tag. London. Alright mate. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of generalization right now. Oh, hello. How you all doing? Yes, the Great Britain. All right, hello. That's the deadest accent ever. Forgive me. London. What's going on? I'm going to be trying to personalize it as much as I can. Guten Tag, mein Freund. Yeah, did I say that right? Yes, I think so. Mein Freund. Freund, yes. I'm getting there. All right. Thank you all for joining me today. Today's topic is going to be, as I mentioned, is going to be depression. And based on the feedback from yesterday, when I just posted it yesterday, I imagine this is one that resonates with a lot of people. And so it is necessary, if I'm going to be doing this, for me to cover such a topic. For the new people joining me today, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you coming to join me today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the therapy hour is. It's an hour for us to be able to explore different topics or issues that affect our mental health. And what I do as a psychotherapist is I go through different strategies. I go through exploration, sometimes psychoeducation, which means basically explaining things in a certain way that hopefully can connect with people and people can understand it. And by doing so, we're lifting the stigma of something that affects so many of us. We're lifting the stigma and bringing a community together to be able to say, oh, you know what, I can connect with that. I don't feel weak, or I don't feel that there's something wrong with me because I'm afflicted by mental health issues. So that's the whole purpose of this, to try and see if we can connect with anyone. We can help, we can support, we can guide, we can assist, and we can provide 1 hour in a week of a time for us to reflect and actually get some good therapy done. Okay, so that is what this is. This is not going to be a real therapy session because I cannot cover in 1 hour what I'll be doing with a client. Well, I'll be working with a client. Let's say a client has got depression. It goes over a period of time for me to be able to explore, understand what the issue is, and then be that mirror to the client to see for themselves what exactly is going on for them. I may be able to say it, but I need to guide my client to be able to say it. I need to guide my client to be able to understand it and also start putting in very good strategies specific to that person in order for them to be able to activate it and start to see change. So with depression, there's going to be a lot of topics we're going to be looking at. Today, I'm going to be explaining what depression is. I'm going to be explaining how to spot depression because it's one of those ones where, some of us in the profession, we call it the phantom disorder. And the phantom disorder because a lot of people will be like, well, how do you know you've got depression? And some of you, if you've experienced it or you know someone that's experienced it, you may be part of the ones that said, yeah, we all get down, right? How do you know you've got depression? Oh, everybody's got depression these days, right? It's just pull yourself together, right? So for today, I'm going to be able to explore and answer back directly to those statements. I'm going to be answering directly to that sentiment that seems to be prevalent in the world right now, especially when it comes to depression. It seems to be the least popular one. And when I say popular, I mean the least acceptable one by society. We seem to have an issue with that word depression. We seem to have an issue with people that are saying that, yes, I've got depression, right? It's almost like an internalized eye rolling, like, here we go. Yeah, sure you have. All right. So for today, I'm here to maybe dismiss some of those conspiracy theories, to dismiss the naysayers. My job here today is actually to be able to expand on it, explain it, and back it up with information, back it up with data. Let's not let sentiment drive us apart or not enter into, positive communication with each other. The whole point is for us to be able to explore and express together. Okay? So today, those are the things I'm going to cover. And I'm also going to cover strategies that can be put in place to actually assist you in getting better. If you've joined me previously, you will know that I believe that a lot of people, when they're afflicted with something, what comes from it is a sense of hopelessness. A sense of, oh no, things are not going to get any better. Which in essence is what hopelessness means, your inability to see things getting better. And when that happens, we get stressed more. And when that happens, we feel like giving up, right? It's like, it's not going to get any better. Then what comes on top of it is compounded by shame, by guilt. So those are the things we're going to cover. Different ways in which we can heal from depression. Different strategies that I use with some of my clients that I can pass on to you right now. And also the different levels of depression and how it can manifest and what to look out for and certain things to put in place just to be aware that I am prone to depression, which can happen. So what can I put in place to be able to manage that consciously? Those are the things we're going to go over today. And if you feel like asking any questions, if you feel like commenting, this space is not my space. This space is our space. And it's a perfect opportunity for us to be able to connect. For you, the most important part of this, otherwise I'll just be talking to myself, right? Which it feels like sometimes. But it's very important for you to engage as well. I'm very interested in your experiences, your thoughts. You may be one of those naysayers that think, depression, give it a break, come on now. You may be that person. This is a non-judgmental space for us to be able to converse, discuss, explore, and maybe we both can learn from each other. All right? So if you feel comfortable doing so, drop a message. If you feel comfortable doing so, request to be on and we can explore what you're going through right now. All right. Now that I've introed the session, we'll get started. All right? So, depression. What is depression? Now, depression is defined as persistent, low mood, persistently feeling down. Now, feeling down is another way of saying low mood. I'm using both because some people can understand and connect with feeling down. Low mood may seem quite generalistic. Feeling down. Your mood is gone down. Not only has it gone down, you may ask, but Nathaniel, we all have low moods. Definitely, we all do. I had a low mood 2 days ago. I didn't know what happened, but my mood was low. It was noticeably so. My body felt heavy. I felt leggy. Leggy means every time you walk and everything, it just feels as if someone has added more pounds or more weight to your ankles as you're walking. And over a period of time, I was exploring myself and say, okay, trying to look and understand, why am I feeling this way all of a sudden? Because I couldn't connect to an event that may have triggered this. And after a period of time, doing other things, my mood lifted. Now, that is not a bout of depression. The reason why I'm stating that, and I'm using that as an example, is we all, at different times in our lives, or of the year, or of the month, we may feel low. We may feel down. Depression is described by persistence and the length of time you are stuck in this mode. The mode of low mood, feeling down, if it's persistent and for a long period of time, we're talking about weeks, that is where we start looking at maybe there is depression. On my website for Talking Therapy Clinic, which is talkingtherapyclinic.co.uk, there's a mood and a depression test on there, free of charge. You can just go over it and explore whether you may be someone that maybe you may need to look into whether you are depressed or not. So when we finish this, you can go over it and you can check it out and you can see. Just take the free test. Take it as many times as you want. You can do it next week, a month later. You can do it monthly, just to be able to check on yourself. Okay, so depression is persistent and a long period of time in which you are experiencing low mood, feeling down. That's what's classed as depression. So for that, what I want us to be able to understand is look within ourselves right now and say, okay, is this something that I feel connected to? If you have been experiencing depression, or as I've just described it, a low mood, feeling down for a long period of time, and we're talking about weeks, one of the things I look at when I'm working with clients, in order for us to be able to understand, for me to be able to determine whether someone is going through depression or not, is I ask certain questions. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask some of you certain questions. And all the questions that are coming through, I will be answering all of them. All right? Definitely one that says, do people recover from depression, or does it just get suppressed when one has a positive moment? Brilliant question. One in which I'm going to make a note of, in which I'm going to definitely make sure that I cover and I answer before we end this. Okay? So let me just make a note of that. Do people recover, or do they just have a good day and that's their way of recovering? All right? So I'm going to look into recovery. All right? So I've noted that down, and I'll definitely be exploring that. So one of the questions I ask my clients when they're presenting with different health issues. Sometimes clients will come in and say, Nathaniel, I just feel down. Or Nathaniel, I don't know, I don't feel myself, which is another sign of things being awry. I don't feel myself. What is your normal self? What do you connect with as who you are? When you say you don't feel yourself, there are certain descriptions or that you may be able to describe yourself as, which is, I am bubbly, I am happy, I'm confident, I am hopeful, right? I am active. So if we look at those descriptors for yourself, and maybe 3 or 4 of those ones are not coming through, or all of them, you don't feel connected to that. You don't feel active, you don't feel bubbly, you don't feel energized, you don't feel confident, those kind of things, and you don't feel uplifted, and it goes on for a long period of time, it's a time for you to actually explore what is going on for you. All right. So let's look into the signs of depression. All right. I'm going to list some signs for you that I've noted earlier, that I've explored earlier. Some of it are things that are genuinely known, but some of it are things that I have earmarked from speaking to clients. Some people are affected with certain things that It may not be textbook, but you may be able to connect with it. So the list in which I've compiled of is, you have low mood, you have negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are so important because negative thoughts are the petrol that keeps that fire alive. Okay? So that negative thought are those things that we call it intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts means that you're minding your own business and the thoughts just slaps you across the face like, hey, I'm still here, or whatever it may be. Those are intrusive thoughts because they intrude on your normal thoughts. They intrude on your everyday activities, and they're usually not invited, and they seem to be ever present. They gate crashing the situation. They gate crashing you. All right? So when you've got low mood, negative automatic thoughts, as I like to call it, because they seem to be automatic. They just come from nowhere. Feeling down, as I've stated earlier. Overly tired. Now, overly tired is one in which I want to explore a little bit before I move on. Overly tired means that there's a physiological change to you. Now, this is important in my experience because a lot of people think your mental health is solely up here. There is a connection between the mental and the physical. There's a direct connection to it. So let's not fall into the category of thinking, well, you're just not feeling well up here. Cheer up, you feel better. The symptoms come through in different ways. And one of them is physiologically, right? You could physically start feeling your mental health in your body, in your gut. The gut is another interesting part that there's a lot of research going into it, that the gut has a lot of answers for us in understanding depression. All right? So physiological, feeling tired. Feeling you can't sleep. There's a connection to feeling tired and not being able to sleep. And there's a connection to negative automatic thoughts as well. Those things are all intrinsically linked. Because what happens is, if we look at it, I'm overthinking, ruminating, right? Ruminating is a fancy way of saying overthinking, all right? So I may say ruminating sometimes when I feel fancy, but it's usually overthinking, which means persistent thinking over and over and over and over again. Sometimes on the same thing over and over again. And you are in a Groundhog Day. For those that don't understand the reference, it's just looping over, like every day becomes the same. The same thoughts just intrude our minds. When we're doing that, physically, I'm exhausted. Aren't you exhausted if you're thinking over and over again about certain things? You are tired because your energy, all the blood is rushing to your brain as you're compiling and as you're going through this one incident over and over again, right? Your body is tired, is drained, hence the connection to the physiological. Another connection to the physiological is when we have the negative automatic thoughts, we also have low confidence. We are affected by low confidence. Our confidence just goes down because those negative thoughts, we are internalizing it and we are believing it to be true. And the persistence and the continuous nature of thinking and thinking those negative thoughts is affecting our confidence. We start questioning ourselves, our ability to do certain things and achieve certain things, right? We start questioning. So, what other signs are there that you may be experiencing depression? So we've gone through low mood, feeling down, negative automatic thoughts, overly tired, being irritable, frustrated, angry, all of those things just intertwined in it. Or sometimes you may feel tearful. Tearful is one I get that concerns a lot of people, especially men, in my experience, because it seems as if it comes from nowhere. All of a sudden you're sitting down there and just tears are rolling down your cheeks and you don't know why. You don't know where it's come from. You don't know, why am I crying? Why are tears falling from my eyes? And tears are usually synonymous with weakness in certain fields. Oh, no, I don't cry. And you start wiping it away. But it's an outlet that your body, remember what I stated before, our mind and our body is connected. So when we're feeling that pressure, it comes out in other ways. It can come out in some people with hair loss, come out with some people who've been just overly tired, some people with jaw pain because they're grinding their teeth and just been tense as they sleep. So it finds its different ways in which it comes out. The longer we push it away, the longer it's trying to find a way to come out. It's going to try and find a hole. It's going to try and find a place for it to basically alert you to danger. This is going on. We need to sort it out. Hello, can you see me? Can you hear me? We need to sort this out. And it's just banging at the door. And sometimes it can come in tears because of being so overwhelmed that it is finding a way to come out. And crying and tears are one of the most beautiful ways for us to release and relieve ourselves. I'll touch on that when I'm going through strategies we can use. All right. Other signs of you maybe going through depression is hopelessness. Right? Hopelessness. Hopelessness is a sense of, like I said earlier, things are not going to get better. I have no confidence that I'm going to be able to do this. I have no confidence that I'm even going to experience what it feels like to be happy again. I have no confidence to be able to say, oh, you know what? Don't worry, stick it out. It's going to get better. You know, hopelessness are one of those signs as well. I can see earlier on Stella put in there, oh, can't breathe. Not being able to breathe, gasping, is another physiological sign of what is going on within you. And you just feel like you're gasping, and sometimes it's linked into panicking. We may have a bout of a panic attack where it's linked into anxiety as well, but we're going to focus on depression. But that's one of the signs as well. That's why anxiety and depression are usually linked together, because depression, anxiety will show its face as well. All right? It's like the Cray twins. You see one, then you see the other in some cases. All right? So those are different ways in which it can come out. This is a sign. Your body is begging you, pleading with you, alerting you to something being awry. Something is not right here. Nathaniel, I don't feel well. Something is going on here. Let's sort it out, please. Please. So it could include you waking up in the middle of the night. It could include you not being able to sleep for most of the night. And that pattern then creates another pattern that what is usually sometimes not realized is, oh, I can't sleep at night. It's because I've got my depression. My depression is causing it. That could be explained if we look at it strategically, which I'm going to do, which is I'm overthinking, or for the posh and fancy ones amongst you, I am ruminating, right? And I'm keeping myself awake because I'm giving attention. I am more alert because I am focusing on thinking. And by doing so, my body is tired. My body has been awake since 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's now after midnight. It's now 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm still thinking. I'm still worrying and ruminating about something. And that keeps me up a little bit longer, and I get even more tired. So what happens the next day when I've had maybe 3 hours sleep? I may get tired. And in the COVID era, what happens is if we're not working because we're furloughed or we've been let go or whatever it may be, we may fall asleep at midday or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And if you fall asleep at that time for a long period of time, you're rested. What you're doing there without realizing it, you are creating a pattern that is affecting you in order for you to get back to sleep. So by sleeping in the daytime, because my mood is low, I didn't sleep last night because I was overthinking, I need to fall asleep right now, let me get my sleep where I can. And we fall asleep at that time. You wake up at 8 o'clock or you wake up at 7 p.m. To get back to sleep now is a little bit more difficult. And you realize, without realizing it, you are now creating a pattern, an unhealthy pattern of lack of sleep, of overtiredness, of rumination. And if you continue that, Monday comes, then Tuesday, and you follow that through, all of a sudden you start realizing that you are stuck in this mode. So what I want us to do is I want us to be able to, when we go through the strategies, I want us to be able to implement these strategies to be able to improve our chances of removing certain negative and destructive patterns of behavior. All right? Other signs of depression. withdrawing. Withdrawing from your normal activities. Maybe before COVID came, maybe not going out with friends, not even speaking to friends. Or withdrawing from people you love, family, because you feel low, you feel burdensome, because I don't want to burden people with my low mood. I don't want to, how you doing, Edwin? How you doing, Manu? Welcome. I don't want to burden people with my low mood because I'm not the usual bubbly Nathaniel anymore, right? And people are used to that bubbly personality that you guys may have. And once you feel, I'm going to be getting people down, I'm going to be putting it down on everyone and I don't want to talk, I don't want to say anything. Or maybe I don't even know what the hell is going on with me and I don't know how to explain to someone that I'm just feeling down. I don't know how to explain to someone because I fear judgment as well. That this person is not going to understand, or maybe this person is going to go, for goodness sakes, depression, yeah, whatever. Pull yourself together, right? So those are some of the signs and the symptoms of you feeling low. Now, it gets a little bit more dangerous as we go along. One of the other signs that's linked to hopelessness. Hopelessness is a telltale sign of potential suicidal ideation. And suicidal ideation, what that means is I'm having ideas of not being around. I'm having ideas or I'm having thoughts about maybe it would be easier and less painful if I wasn't around anymore. Maybe it would be better for all concerned if I wasn't here because I feel that my condition, I don't feel that it can improve. I can't see that it's going to get any better. So I'm going to go through this for the next 10, 20 years, 30, no. And that's where the dangers of hopelessness rears its head. So that's why depression for me is such a major topic, very major topic for all of us to educate ourselves on and look at practical ways in which we can start affecting change within that. Not only within ourselves, but also with our friends, our family, to support them. So all the friends you may have thought, depression, come on, put yourself together. If there's no blood test for it, then I don't believe it, right? Who amongst us have thought that before? You know, the first time we all heard about depression, if you can think that far back, because we couldn't understand it. We couldn't understand what depression meant. Automatically, our judgment came out. How have you got depression? What are the signs? I can't see anything on your face. There's no mark that shows that you've got depression. You can't go and get a blood test that shows that you've got depression. So you just feel like you've got depression and I'm supposed to believe you. A lot of people have thought that way and a lot of people still do. Now imagine if you're one of those people that's going through depression and you know very well that that is a thought that is felt by a lot of people. Are you going to feel comfortable expressing yourself to friends and family? Are you going to be comfortable by expressing it to colleagues or managers at work because of fear of being judged, fear of either not being able to handle life or fear of being seen as weak, mentally weak, unable to cope with the challenges? We all get on with it. There are people that are starving out there. You've got a house, you've got money, you've got family. What are you depressed for? There are kids that don't have food to eat. They're not depressed. But you in the West, in England, in Germany, in Canada, wherever you may be, why are you depressed? You eat 3 times a day, right? You've got clothes on, right? You've got a roof over your head. What reason have you got to be depressed? Those are some of the thoughts that play in our minds that prevent us from talking about it, that prevent us from actually even dealing with it ourselves. Why am I sad? Why am I down? I have no reason to be down, so let me just ignore it. But it finds its way to come out. All right? So those are some of the signs. If you guys have experienced some of those signs, or you may want to bring in your own, feel free to do so. Another sign is lack of motivation. I think for me, that's one of the major ones for me. It's lack of motivation. My motives to do certain things are so low that I can't be bothered to go and brush my teeth. I should shower, right? can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to get out of bed. I don't want to get out of bed. I want to cover myself and just will the world and the day away. I want to stay there covered so nobody's disturbing me and just get stuck in that mood of feeling low. So why don't you get up, Nathaniel? Why don't you do certain things just to shake it off? Because of the low mood. Why can't you just put yourself together? Because of the low motivation to do anything. Right? There's a phrase called catch-22. And what catch-22 means is, if I do this, for me to do this, I need to do this. But I can't do this because of low mood. So in depression is one of the strategies that we put in place that everybody's probably heard about is exercising, right? And exercising is one of those strategies that may improve your mood. So if one of the strategies is exercising, okay, that's a good strategy, Nathaniel. So let's do that. I'm going to feel better. It's going to release some endorphins, and endorphins are good chemicals that make us feel good without us, rolling anything or smoking or drinking alcohol or whatever it is, right? But at the same time, I want to exercise, but I have no motivation. I have low mood. I can't be bothered. And it's not even about not being able to be bothered, because that seems as if you've got a certain degree of control over it and it's just your choice, you don't want to. But physically, to get up seems like such an insurmountable act that you just lay there. That people may say, come on, get up. Your phone is on silent. You don't even want to hear anything. You're just stuck in that mode. So it's a catch-22. Go and exercise, but I can't get up. But if you exercise, you'll feel better, but I can't get up. So for you to be able to do certain things I'm telling you to do to make you feel better, you need to get up, but you can't. That's the catch-22 of dealing and treating people with depression. All right. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? I just had a message saying it's paused for a moment. So if I'm back on, give me a thumbs up to make sure that I'm just not talking to myself in the room right now. Yeah? Okay. No thumbs up yet? Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So what are the things we need to look at to treat depression? How do we? Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, Andrea. Buki. Thank you. So now I've explained what depression is. I've explained the signs. Thank you, Ash. I've explained the signs. How you doing, Marley? Thank you, Ronke. I've explained the signs of depression. Right? We've looked at it. I think we've pulled it apart. It's basically, if any of you play football or any ball sports, just that deflation, kicking your ball over the fence and having someone put a knife through it and all the air comes out of it. That, to me, is a perfect imagery of depression. You are normally full. You are normally full of life and energy and air and oxygen and blood and everything else. And just imagine just that being opened up and all the air coming out of you. And you just feel floppy. You just flop down. For me, that's a perfect imagery of depression. So what are the ways in which we can treat it? Now, I'll explain to you the different levels of depression. There's the mild, there's the moderate, and the severe. And the severe goes into the realms of clinical depression. And I'll explain that as I go along as well. So mild depression. Mild depression is we're feeling low mood. As I've just explained, all of those signs could be present. The length of time it goes on is what determines how mild it is. So sometimes what doctors do, and myself, what we do is we give it time. We call it the watchful period. And what a watchful period means is you're feeling low, I ask certain questions when I'm doing my assessment and consultation with clients. How long have you been feeling like this? When did it start? And then one of the things I look at is exploring potential cause of it. If it started a month ago, what happened a month ago? It could be I lost a loved one. I lost my job. The love of my life broke up with me. All my friends turned their back on me. I've traveled from my home and I've come to a new country, a new place, a new area. I don't know anyone. I started a new job and I don't know what I'm doing and I feel scared of losing it. I feel scared I don't know what I'm doing. So many different events could be the cause of a mild depression. So what I do is I do a little bit of investigation in the assessment to try to understand whether there is a clear connection to the feeling with an event. So those are the things that I ask and I look for. So I implore all of you to do that for yourself. If you're feeling down, how long have I been feeling down for? When can I recollect it started? And then go back to that period and like, what happened in that period? What happened? And if you understand what happened in that period, you can be like, I'm feeling down because of that. And what has happened is it's continued over a period of time. And is understanding it. So mild depression can be looked at as that. One of the biggest questions, I don't know about you, but for me, is understanding what causes this. Why am I depressed and my friend isn't depressed? For you know, your friend may be depressed and they're just hiding it well until the bank bursts. So what are the causes of depression? We've got life-altering events, like I've just explained, death in the family, loss of job, loss of home, loss of loved ones. And those events could have such an impact on you that it affects you. You feel overwhelmed by those events. And understanding that is one of the first steps in healing that. So we watch it to see how long it lasts for. If it lasts longer than a few weeks, then it's about for us to explore it and look at and put strategies in place to deal with it. So what are the strategies? We're getting into the meaty part here now. What are the strategies we can put in place to be able to deal with depression? You know, we've all heard about exercise will make you feel better, the end. Not quite. Although exercise is a great medicine to be prescribed to clients. But in itself, maybe mild depression and exercise could be a good fit. But what I like to do is I like to do a 360. And a 360 means I'm covering all aspects of someone's psyche and their life. So I need to understand you. I need to look at you. And I'm like, you know, you haven't exercised for 20 years. And I'm prescribing you exercise. You need to go jogging for an hour. That is not realistic. And that would not be me doing my job properly. So it's looking at ways in which we can personalize the strategies and the treatment for that client. Hello. We can strategize what is uniquely suitable for you. So the therapist needs to understand your makeup, what kind of things you like, what kind of things you're used to doing, what kind of thing you're capable of doing, and looking at ways to implement that in the treatment plan. So if you're going through mild depression, treatment plan may include exercising. Also, what I like to implement is the reframing. And the reframing is got to do with those negative thoughts that I spoke about earlier, right? So when we have those negative automatic thoughts and we start worrying and go over, and what was that word I used again? Ruminating. And we go over and over and over again. Those negative thoughts are just building land. They're just building properties on us. They are here to stay, squatters' rights, right? And they're here. No, I belong here. So what we need to do is we need to reframe those thoughts. And reframing means my friend didn't call me back. I sent them a message, they read it, they didn't call me back, or they didn't reply my message. They're not interested. They don't like me. I am an irritation. They don't care about me. There's no point in me even messaging them back. Everybody don't like me, right? Those are the negative thoughts that come just from that moment of you sent a message to someone, they've read it and they haven't responded. Now, a lot of people go through this judgment process of if I do this and someone does that, it automatically means this. So that lets you know about your state of mind. So what I encourage you and what I challenge all of you to do is learn how to reframe. When those thoughts automatically come into your mind, because it seems automatic, right? That's where you go. There's a whole nother world over here that your mind and your focus is not even looking at. So what I want you to do is reframe that. So let's go through that same event and let us practice reframing it right now. And what that looks like is, I've sent a message to someone. They've read it, but they haven't responded in the last hour or two or a day. Rather than going down the route of they can't be bothered, they don't like me, they don't care about me, no one likes me, I'm to be ignored, I'm not worthy of this friendship. Let's reframe that. Challenge that thought by offering alternative. How realistic is it that this person is thinking all those thoughts are just projected onto them? I got a message the other day and I read it, and before I could respond, my phone rang and I had a nice long conversation exploring certain topics. Then I went back to writing something I was writing. I had a report to write that I was writing. The next day, oh my gosh, I didn't respond. Oh, and I'm going through my messages. I'm like, oh my days, let me just respond. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Now, for that 24 hours, if I was going through depression, if I was having those negative automatic thoughts, I would be in that moment questioning the reason why this person hasn't responded. But what I've just done now is I've just reframed it. Maybe he's busy. Maybe he saw it and he was about to respond and it didn't. And another incident happened to me this week. I sent a message and the person usually responds, but they didn't respond, although there was 2 blue ticks. And I was like, that's not like her. And I left it. Then a little bit later, or the next day, I sent another message saying, hello, what's going on? And the person responded and said, oh, my daughter must have taken my phone and clicked it for them to see it. But my friend hasn't seen it. So they weren't responding because they were unaware that this message was there. There are so many other possible reasons why these things may have occurred. Challenge those thoughts and reframe it. I said, no. Rather than me going down the route of I'm not worthy of friendship, or this person doesn't value me or doesn't care about me, or I'm an irritation to so many other people, let me reframe it and say, no, maybe they're busy. I'll give them time and maybe I'll message them later. Or maybe I'll message them tomorrow. Give them time to respond. Without automatically giving it meaning, interpreting it the most negative way. There's a reason why when we are feeling happy and joyful, if someone hasn't responded to us, what do? Hey, I messaged you about an hour ago. Are we still going to where we're going to? Oh, I didn't see your message. Okay, come on, let's go. Because our mood is high and we feel good within ourselves, those thoughts, those negative thoughts are not given air. They're not given center stage in our minds. So when we're feeling down, those negative thoughts, they congregate. You know, like Sunday morning, they just congregate there waiting to start singing hymns in your minds. All right? So those are the strategies I look at. Not only the physical strategies, but also the mental strategies of reframing those thoughts. Another tactic that I implement with clients is the most popular one right now, it seems, which is mindfulness. These thoughts are going through my mind. These thoughts are going through my mind. These thoughts are going through my mind. I can't seem to escape it. So mindfulness is being aware of those thoughts. But you are not pouring gasoline on it to give it life. to make that fire burn even more so. Mindfulness is aware that I'm feeling down right now. I am. I'm thinking maybe I'm not good enough for certain things. I'm feeling low. I have no energy right now. But what I'm going to do is this also shall pass. So I'm mindful enough to know that this is present and there's a wave coming over me. But then I'm also mindful that this, like a wave, is going to settle. Let me ride it out. Let me ride it out. Let me just breathe it in, plant my feet on the ground, and just in that moment, just sit down and breathe it in. Be aware of what's going on around me. Be aware of what I'm feeling. Be aware of what I'm thinking. But at the same time, know that this is a wave. And if I go through this, I'll be able to let it pass. Let it pass. As I wade and I wade through it, it will pass. And you open your eyes, you're in that moment of knowing that, yes, this is going on right now, but also it can pass. Also, I can move from this current moment. So practice mindfulness regularly. It's so important. Practice mindfulness regularly, even when we're feeling good. I'm sitting down right now. It's a lovely day. The trees are rustling. The breeze is coming through. The bird is eating the seeds in the garden, right? If you hold on, let me just show you a little bit. Can you see that? So for me, practicing mindfulness could just be looking outside the window, seeing the trees, seeing the grass, seeing the plants growing, seeing the birds chirping. And then for me, it could just be in that moment, me exploring it and me going, you know what? I'm going to be present in this moment. I'm going to be centered in this moment. I'm going to center myself, regulate myself, the thoughts, the feelings, the body, all aligned in understanding. This is what I'm feeling right now. What am I feeling at this present moment? The chair I'm sitting on, the air I'm breathing, so many different factors that we'll be able to look at, we'll be able to explore. Practice mindfulness regularly. Okay? So those are some of the strategies I use with my clients that go through mild to moderate depression. Now, when we delve a little bit deeper, when we go into the moderate depression, there may be other things we can put in place. One of those things are setting yourself smart goals. Setting yourself smart goals. What does smart means? It means be specific in that goal. What do you want to do? I want to be able to maybe build a little toy house. I want to be able to paint a masterpiece. Let's be realistic here. All right? So SMART goals is about be specific to what you want to do. Make it measurable, which means how do I know that I will have succeeded in doing this? I can measure what success means, right? I want it to be achievable. I want it to be something in which we can achieve it. What does that mean? It means that I'm not going to say, I want to go into the Olympics and swim for Nigeria in the Olympics next year. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to swim in the Olympics for Nigeria and win gold. When was the last time you swam, Nathaniel? Well. When I went to the pool and I was splashing around and I went down the slide and everything. Okay, when's the last time you swam professionally? I've never swum professionally. Make it realistic, achievable. Make it something that it's not just a pie in the sky. Make it specific, achievable, realistic, and also make it timely. When do I want to have done this thing by? I want to have done it by tomorrow. So what I want us to do, because depression robs us of our confidence. And one of the little strategies we can put in place is to build our confidence up. Now, one of the things that's going to make me seem like such a nerd right now, and I love it, and I've mentioned this before, is have you ever done something, right? And you set yourself a goal. I'm going to finish this article I'm writing by Monday. And Monday comes and you've done it. And then you can just go into your pad and you can tick it off. Do you know the pleasure I get in just merely ticking something off my list? I don't know why I never thought about it before. I started doing this last year and it's like a revelation to me. Be able to tick your goals off a list improves your confidence. Those negative thoughts are telling you you can't do anything, but you've just done something off your list, even if it's one thing. It counters and challenges those negative thoughts. And those negative thoughts become a little bit more quiet because you have just shown that it is wrong. You have just shown that you can do those things. So make your goals little steps. For clients that are going through moderate depression, what I do set them is the goal of brush your teeth before 10 a.m. in the morning. The goal is shower and get dressed before 10 o'clock in the morning or 11. It's specific to that person. The goal could be making yourself breakfast, tidy your bed, make your bed, tidy up the room before a certain time. Those are goals that you can set yourself. It may seem like such a trivial thing, but for someone that's going through moderate to severe depression, that is a mountain that seems insurmountable at times. So set yourself small goals. Just as many as you want, but make them nice and small. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Make them smart goals. And the more you do it and the more you're ticking off your list, you start feeling better. So, activities. What do I like doing? Well, I like, going to the gym, jogging, working out, whatever it may be, or maybe just walking. Okay, I'm going to start walking for 30 minutes a day. That is my goal for the first week. My client, that is the treatment plan. For this week, today is Saturday. Before our next session, I want you to walk 30 minutes every day until then. And we set the client homework. So think of it as a little homework assignment. Between now and next week, I want you to walk 30 minutes per day. Keep a log. Write it down. So when you've written it down, tick it off every day you've done it. So what we're doing there, we're implementing the exercise, which physiologically improves the way you feel. Right? Then what we're doing as well, we are focusing on you ticking off your list, setting yourself goals and achieving it, which improves your confidence, which improves your well-being. In that one activity, we have combined two in there. And the more you walk in, the more you're feeling good about yourself, we will start increasing other activities you can do. And when you do that every day, when it comes to 9, 10 o'clock at night, you're tired. I want to go to sleep. Because you're so tired, you fall asleep. You wake up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You haven't ruminated. You haven't given attention to that thing because your exercise during the day, it's knocked you out. So those are very useful, practical strategies that can actually work and affect change within you. It is not simplistic or, really, that's not going to work. It works. I know it works because I'm talking from professional experience. Put that in place and you start seeing changes. If you do not see changes and we're going into moderate to severe depression and it's going on for weeks and months now and you're feeling hopeless, you're feeling suicidal, what I would say is that's a moment for you to seek someone like myself. That's a moment for you to see a therapist. You need support. We all need support. Right? I don't know how engines and my car works or how to fix everything within the car. I take it to a specialist, to a mechanic. Listen, this car is making a lot of noise right now. It's tearing up. This car is just, this oil coming from the exhaust. Help me out. Can you please fix it for me? And they will show you how to fix it. They will guide you on how to treat what is wrong within it. The same way a therapist like myself will be able to guide you on what is going on for you and how we can explore it together and start implementing certain strategies to make changes, to make improvements in the way you feel about yourself. If you feel severely depressed, which is the chronic depression, this is a moment in which you may be linked into community mental health teams. And what they are is a combination of therapists like myself, but also psychologists and psychiatrists that will be able to implement and insert medication. Medication could be, we're noticing that your mood is so low for a long period of time. Let's start you off on a low dosage of maybe 10 milligrams of citalopram or fluoxetine. Let's start you on that dose. Not only give you medication to stop the depression, we're going to prescribe you the medication and also prescribe you talking therapy like Nathaniel for him to be able to go through the strategies and look at ways in which we can do practical things to improve your mood, coupled with the medication to improve the chemicals within your body that may be affecting your low mood. Because in some cases, it could be your brain's inability to really regulate your mood that's really affecting you. So let's give it a little bit of a helping hand. Let's just give it a little bit of a boost and see if that helps, if that works. So combination of both. I'm one that I believe that I'm not going to take any medication until I've tried talking therapies, until I've tried talking about it, exploring it, finding ways in which I can improve my mood, finding ways in which I can help myself by going through here, and exercise more, eating better, going to sleep better. All right? A lot of the times we go through certain things and we feel, right now, I feel down, so let me drink alcohol. Let me smoke some weed. It's going to make me feel better. For many years, maybe a lot of people didn't realize that drinking that alcohol is actually a depressant. That seems like such a weird statement when alcohol is supposed to make you feel bubbly, right, and lively. But have you ever thought about what you feel like afterwards? There's a big plummeting come down from it. So some of the strategies I'll state to you, and these are ways in which we look at it. Avoid drinking alcohol excessively. Go to bed on time early. Implement exercises into your life. Practice mental reframing of thoughts. Practice mindfulness. Seek talking therapists, someone like myself, that will be able to guide you and hold your hand through the process of dealing with it. Activate these thoughts, activate these strategies, and you will notice that it will start improving. If it gets severe, we'll implement medication coupled with talking therapies to assist you in getting better, to assist you in improving, to assist you in seeing your mood lift. So going back to the question in which was asked earlier on, is in, let me just answer that, recovery. You can recover from depression. If it's based on an event, like losing someone you love, you can recover from it by seeking help, by talking about it, by exploring what is going on for you, by putting some of the strategies I just listed there. Then you definitely can get better. If it's a little bit more in depth, where there's a chemical imbalance due to your brain's ability to regulate your mood, there could be assistance there in practical and also the medicinal support in helping it, improving it, and getting better. So those are ways in which we can improve our mental health, we can improve depression. Those are the ways in which we can get better from it. What I would say as we're rounding up today's session is, if you know anyone that's going through depression, try to support that person. And what I mean by that is, just be present in a non-judgmental way. If you are someone that's going through depression, if you are someone that is finding it difficult to get out of bed in the day, get out of bed, sleeping, those are signs that your body and your mind is telling you to seek help. If you are going through it, message me. If you are going through it and you need to see a therapist, go to the website, talkingtherapyclinic.co.uk. Take the depression test. If the answer at the end of it states that you need to speak to someone, drop us a line. Send a message to Talking Therapy Clinic and we'll be contacting you back to do a consultation. I want to thank everyone for joining me. Thank you for leaving your comments, and I